Let's review tense versus aspect. What tenses have we learned so far?
Present active.
Oh, this is getting painful. Let's start at the top. Let's start at the top. Present tense. We made that past in a progressive sense for the imperfect. The simple future. And what's the other past tense we know? Aorist. What about voice? Present tense has how many voices? Three, two. I'm hearing three. I'm hearing two. 2.5. I like that answer. 3, of course. Of course, it has an active voice and a passive voice. You can't do anything but active and passive. And of course, because it's Greek, middle. Active, middle, and passive. It's a little confusing because of the ambiguity of forms. We have only active and the middle passive forms, morphologically speaking. How about the imperfect? What's available to us? Why?
Progressive.
From the same stem. Active, media, passive. In the future tense, we have what available to us?
Active, middle.
Let's pretend we know more than we know.
Passive.
And passive. 3 distinct forms. 3 distinct forms from the 6 principal parts, from 2 and 6. And for the aorist, of course, the same. I don't want to imply that these are definitely built off the same root. So can somebody translate emathomen? Please.
We were learning.
We were learning. Emathomen. Well, you've made the aspect progressive. We were learning, an ongoing or repeated or habitual action. What principal part do we need to form that?
The imperfect.
From monthan, we then add augment and ending. Augment and ending. Dave, augment, ending. Monthan, we, amen, amen, excellent. Monthanemen, we were learning. Mathamen, math, then?
I forgot.
Simple aspect, simple past aspect. We learned. We learned at one time, or without reference to time, we were learning. We learned, we were learning. Let's work on aorist morphology. Let's conjugate this together, shall we, all together as a group. Emathomen, aorist active indicative. Emathon, emathes. This is terrible. Start over. Emathon, emathes, emathe. This is horrible again. Start over. Emathon, emathes. Carrie, third person plural. They learned. Learned? English problems, not Greek problems. Emathon. So Ryan, to form the aorist, the first aorist, you need those endings and augment. Julie, now we've got our augment, we've got our alpha.
So
Translate.
I hid.
I hid. Let's make it I was hiding, Julie.
So it'd be a corrupt with a
Yes. Crypt.
what are you? Oh, a crypto.
Ekrypton, past tense. Ekrypton. Krypton. That's where Superman hid. Cryps. So it's all about principal parts. It comes down again to principal parts, the bane of our existence so far. Yes?
The first person plural in the alpha grade, is it almond or almond?
An excellent question, I think. Ekrypsomen. Ekrypsomen. We hid. We concealed. We covered. We hid. How do we make a dikesan? They wronged. They acted unjustly. How do we make that imperfect? Dave?
You have to change the principal part.
Good answer. I don't want to change anything. I want to start with that root. Give me, they were wronging. They were behaving unjustly.
A geek. Ace.
Oh, that's not Greek. Well, that's not Attic, is it? E dikeon contract e dikun. Shall we read some sentences? Sentences that distinguish strongly between the progressive ongoing and the aorist simple. Sentence number 1. Will somebody read it in Greek? Thank you, Dustin.
Ekenen maintain hemeron hoi hippes ta stratopodon ephulaton te de hustera epitus polemius elason haguntugar radios autus cratisain.
I'll give you up to the semicolon, and then we'll let Jacob take over. Ekenen ten hemeron.
I just read it. The day some no that there those
Ekenen ten hemeron. What case?
accusative
Accusative. Why would the word day be in the accusative case?
accusative of time
Oh, excellent. Ekenen ten hemeron.
for some day
For
at that day,
day would be dative.
so definitely not at that day.
Right. As you first suspected, for that day. Hoi hippes. New vocabulary.
Looks like
By new, I mean only 2 days old
oh,
vocabulary. Hoi hippes. Hippos. Not hippos horse, but hippos.
Cavalryman.
Horseman.
okay.
Horseman. Not like horseman, but exactly, cavalryman. Hoi hippes, nominative plural. To stratopodon ephulaton. Attic ephulaton. Ionic ephulason. Ephulason.
Does that come from phulax? Phulaka? No.
I ask you, does this verb come from that noun?
It would seem to be. But
Yes,
then
they are
again,
related,
I've
definitely.
been wrong.
Fulato, fulato, fulato. Hoi hippes, ephulaton to stratopodon.
The cavalry did something.
To stratopodon. What's a stratopodon? Stratos,
Camp.
stratia, army, stratopodon camp. Excellent.
Camp.
Hoi hippes to stratopodon ephulaton. What does a phulax do?
Ooh, guards.
Guards.
The cavalrymen guarded. Were guarding.
Guarded. Were guarding. Excellent. We've got the imperfect ongoing aspect. The cavalrymen were guarding the camp Ekenen ten hemeron.
For those days.
For that day.
For that day.
For the duration, accusative of extent of time, duration of that day. Notice how the time constructions give you a clue to the verb aspect. For that day, for the duration of that day, they were doing a repeated action. On a different day, they did an action at one point in time. One point in time, simple aspect. Yes?
I missed the te hustera.
Te hustera hemera.
It's dative. What time construction? It's just dative of time.
Let's call it the dative of time. The time when construction, not extent of time,
Okay.
but single point when something happened.
So the
Simple dative case, no preposition. Yes,
But they marched, isn't that intransitive?
it certainly is.
So is elano an intransitive verb?
Excellent question. Isn't it both? Transitive, what does the general do?
Marches?
He marches his army. What does the army do?
They march.
They march. So transitive if I'm doing it to somebody, and intransitive if I'm doing it to myself. We don't use the middle voice for that with elauno. Elauno acts transitively or intransitively in the active voice.